I have never known the dad paradox to be a thing, but I am making it a thing. So let me tell you about the dad paradox because I just invented it this past weekend. The dad paradox essentially goes like this. As a good dad, as a dad trying to be a great dad, one thing that you have to tolerate a lot of is dad, 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 dad. Are we there yet? Dad, why does that work that way? Dad, how does that work? Dad, can we have this for dinner? Dad, I don't want that for dinner. And ultimately, if you have more than one kid, the amount of dads that can fly at you is extremely overwhelming sometimes. However, the dad paradox says that those dads are only going to be there for so many years. And if you don't enjoy them, if you don't laugh at them, if you don't embrace them, if you don't keep your calm through them, it's going to be the one thing that you lost and you're not going to sure how to get back. Because if they don't feel safe asking you, dad, 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 then they're not going to bring you something big later on. And it's this paradox that essentially says you have to be open and vulnerable to hear dad 1,000 times. At the same time, it's so annoying to hear dad 1,000 times. But at the same time, again, knowing it's valuable, knowing what it can do, and knowing how important it is. And priceless. Because like I said, there's going to be a day where the only whisper that you want in the house is just one more dad. That's the irony and the paradox of fatherhood is no matter what we're trying to I'm so tired of this phase. There is a phase in the future where you're like, man, what wouldn't I kill to have my son ask me one more hug? Or what wouldn't I kill for one of my daughter's problems to be gone with a Band-Aid and a hug and a kiss? The problems are always evolving. And that's the dad paradox, is there's these regrets of not holding on and appreciating what we have, but then once it's gone, we're like, man, I wish we would have had more of it. And essentially, the dad paradox says there is no good solution except embracing it, because it is a temporary, fleeting opportunity. You won't have an opportunity where 5 kids or 3 kids, however many kids you have, are all yelling dad at you at the same time. And they're all trying to interrupt each other, trying to prove who has dad's focus the most because I want dad's attention. And as I say it out loud, it's really annoying. Just going to say. And you might think, like, how could this guy that does all this for a living? There are many things about being a dad that I find annoying. But what I do to get through them is understanding this idea that there's going to be a day it's gone. So there's no real point in getting annoyed. The one thing I do choose to do is laugh about it. I can't tell you how many times where I'm just being bombarded with dads. And I'm just laughing like, really? This is what it looks like right now? Or I'm just sitting in the irony of like, gosh, damn it. Give me a break. Take turns here. Take a number. I'm going to almost take one of those take a number things from the grocery store one time. So that the kids have to push that button and I'll be able to, and as I say this analogy out loud because I didn't plan on it, is like now serving number 5. Like, can you imagine how cool that would be to like not have to be overwhelmed with dads and take a number and you would just say now serving child number 3. And then they would come up, you would ask them their questions. How may I help you? Is that all I can do for you today? And then you would move on to the next number. How many questions on the sign? How many people are waiting in the queue for these types of things? Dad paradox is this invitation to this idea that is probably one of the most annoying adventures that you'll ever invite. It is the most overwhelming adventures that you'll ever invite. And it has more corners and tricks than you could ever imagine. And just when you think, and I've proven this every day, I'm quoting this podcast, is just when you think you got to figure it out, something new evolves and you don't know how to get them through. So much of being a dad comes down to accepting that whatever today looks like, no matter what today looks like, it is what it is. And is what it is a brilliant way to accept the beauty of whatever life gives you, whatever the kids give you, whether it be a shit show or something that's worthy of Instagram or a photo book. It is what it is. Fatherhood paradox says there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it except embrace it, love it, and hang on to every fucking moment. Because just like that, one day, It's going to be the last time they ask to be tucked in. And no one's going to tell you. And you're going to be like, I wish I would have paid attention. And if someone would have told me that was the last one, I would have made sure I actually took notes, was in that moment. Because you never know when it's going to be the last one. That is all I have for you guys today. Wrapping up episode 277. I am your host, Ben Cloy, bringing you daily, 5 days a week, dad advice to help you become the dad you want to be in the future today. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk again tomorrow.